Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. My name is Sean Walchef with Cali Comfort Barbecue. We are recording above the butcher shop, first episode of 2019 with my man Derek Marceau, Valley Farm Market. Getting a little bit of a cough. That's a tough way to start 2019.
You know, it's actually been quite eventful for the last 5 days. I went to the hospital and had fluid in my lungs. So been working, trying to get better. Had a 104 and 105 degree temperature. But talked to the doctor, let me go yesterday, and they said I'm not contagious. So I'm just kind of weak right now, but I'm good to go. I'll do my best to get through this episode.
Well, you're a trooper to actually come out here to record this episode today. Those people that have been following along with the podcast, we truly appreciate it. We did our best of episode. Brian and Corey worked really hard to put together. We had an incredible year. So much feedback from people through DMs on Instagram, through emails, through the website. We're just so thankful for you for listening to this podcast. It's been a hell of a ride. We've learned so much from our guests, and it's given us an opportunity to learn. And that's really what it's all about, right?
Yeah, it allows us to take a look at ourselves as well. I think a lot of times self-reflection is one of the biggest things for growth. Being able to, listen to other people, see what they're doing. One of the things that I'm really focused on in 2019 is not getting swayed any direction, is really being true to who I am and trusting who I am, because I feel that a lot of times people will say, oh, hey, this is a really good thing, you should do this. And it's like, okay, there might be some elements of that are good, but it doesn't work for me. It's not always right or wrong. It's just who you are and what works. So that's what, I think, looking back at 2018, seeing the people that we had and being able to take certain things from them and aspects and growing, I want to really implement those in 2019. And I'm excited to see how far this podcast goes and have on some more great guests like what we have today.
Yeah. So, like I said, we're beyond humbled that anybody listens to the podcast and, that the guests take their time to come and share their stories, all the struggles, all the things that you would hope you would learn in business school, but really you don't. It takes opening a business and learning about the stuff that isn't in any textbook or no professor is going to tell you. And people that are willing to share with that, we've learned a lot. And, the feedback that we get from the listeners, it's inspiring. And that's why we're honored to have our guest here today. Derek, why don't you let us know?
No, it's great. I got into the beer industry a long time ago. I was really fortunate to have some people that, took a liking to beer as much as I did. And one of my really good friends, his name was Sean, and he was starting to become a firefighter, and he worked at San Miguel Fire Department. And there was this guy, Pat McElhaney, who was like the king of beer at Alpine Beer Company. And him and his son, Sean, grew this beer company into something that's just so amazing. And I've been so fortunate to know them for such a long time. So Sean McElhaney, thank you so much for coming. Coming to our little shop and then, shooting the shit. And I said last time, in our last, show that's how I like to have our shows, when the guy brought out some champagne and we drank. and yeah. Look at Sean came bearing gifts. He's got Tight Lines, which is a 5.5 ABV pale ale. 79 to Alpine, which is a 7.5 IPA. And Odin's Raven, I'd imagine, had a 11%. Great 11%. So, but thank you so much for coming and bringing gifts.
Humbled to be here. Thank you for having me.
So talk to us, man. Like I said, I kind of know the story. Been with you guys for a long time, and been fortunate to do a beer with you guys for our Valley Farm 60th anniversary, which was real cool, and we'll get into. Yeah. But kind of tell me how did it all got started? I know your dad was doing it, and were you there at the very beginning? How did it all work?
God, he started homebrewing way back early 80s, maybe 84, 85, somewhere around there, all while being a firefighter, actually right down the road at San Miguel. Yeah. So I've had a lot of experience coming here. When the guys got hungry, they'd all come and get their food here.
Right.
Really close, really good quality stuff. And from there, he pursued it with the intention of opening a brewery, knowing that, firefighting wasn't his lifelong gig.
Sure.
So started home brewing, took every educational class he could get his hands on, went to UC Davis, took their intensive brewing classes,
While being a firefighter.
While being a firefighter.
So you guys know we tease our friends, but our friends who are firefighters, they have 6 days and 4 days, so they're off half of the month. I mean, they work 24-hour shifts.
Most firefighters have another job.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys have other jobs. So keep going, sorry.
Yeah. And with that, God, I studied every textbook that he kept from UC Davis and apprenticed with him at the brewery. He got the opportunity to start brewing his beer by volunteering his time at AleSmith. Back before Peter Zian owned it. It was actually Skip Virgilio.
Okay.
It was actually opening Gravity Heights here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Up in the Miramar area. And got to the point, he was volunteering so much of his time, making a lot of the beers. Skip said, hey, you know what? I see what you're doing. You're doing a good job. You want to do Alpine beer? You can have this fermenter, and you can have this space in the cold box. Do your thing.
Wow.
So from about 99 to 2001, he was making Alpine beer at the old original AleSmith facility, which has now become McKellar, San Diego.
Yeah.
From there, he managed to acquire some equipment. Former brewery downtown San Diego, Hang 10 Brewing, which saw the likes of brewmaster Paul Segura, Chuck Silva. A lot of people had experience on that brew house.
Right.
Hang 10 closed up. Dad put an offer on the equipment. Got it. Put it in storage for a little bit. Found a spot in Alpine, and away we went. 2002, summertime, I believe, is when we opened, and we never looked back.
So for those of you that don't know San Diego and Alpine, give us a little bit idea of geographically where Alpine's located and why you chose that location.
So it's about 30 miles directly east of downtown San Diego. On a good day, you can get from downtown to Alpine in about 35, 40 minutes or so. If you don't hit any traffic, good luck with that. Seems like it's getting worse and worse every day.
Absolutely.
Small town, not a whole lot going on. It's not really a destination spot unless you're a beerhead, and then you're coming for the beer.
Yeah.
Or filling up on gas and heading out to Arizona.
So when you guys chose that location, did you think that, I mean, obviously you always dream of having that beer heads coming out there,
right?
But, when was that come to fruition, I guess, because for us opening in Spring Valley, a barbecue restaurant, we always had a dream of having people all over the county coming, but you have to focus on local. You got to take care of your village. Absolutely. And you got to get people to come in the doors to keep your business open. When did you think that kind of took the scales tipped?
It was a couple years. So early 2002, the intention was to provide beer for the community of Alpine. Not a lot of people in Alpine were really hip to the scene.
Right.
Commuting to work outside of Alpine, it wasn't that. That's not where they were working. So, it was a commuting town. You got a lot of, cheap beer drinkers.
Right.
People that just wanted, something that was cold and wet and beer flavored. My dad wanted more than that.
Yeah, we would see it all the time for because we were so ingrained in the beer scene down here, and that you guys really wanted to serve that community. And I would reach out and say, "Hey guys, we'd love to carry your beer." And you're like, "Well, yeah, everyone would, but we're really trying to take care of just our community and only give it to these guys." And it's like, you're sitting like, man. So we'd go up there and I'd just buy it for myself. I'd buy 12 bottles. And
when was this?
God,
what year?
05, 06, 07,
really?
Yeah.
Right when you came back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I would just buy it for myself, and I'd have it in the cooler, and everyone's like, "Hey, let's go have a beer." And I'm like, "Hey, I got these beers," and I'd come over and we just drink some
That's
Alpine
awesome.
beer. And it was the some of the best beer ever, and it was just different. And what I'd always see is just that they were just true to who they were. They didn't sway. They, like what I was talking about earlier. It was just, it's what they liked. Here it is. Here's a beer that we like, that we think's good, and drink it. They weren't trying to go to a trend. They weren't trying to go to anything else. They were just saying, here's good beer that we think's good. And I think you guys nailed it. And I think people were driven to that authenticity. When people were like, okay, that's, that's cool, because they're just drawn to someone being true to who they are. And that's what we always did. We'd go up there and we'd have the Captain Stout, and we'd have the Nelson, we'd have all the good stuff, the pure hoppiness. And it was great. And it was cool to see a mom and pop shop just have this global recognition. You would talk to people on the East Coast. I did a lot of beer trading, and I'm sure the stuff that
online, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it was just like, you'd find a group of people that you were close with and say, hey, send me couple bottles of this. I'll send you a couple bottles of this. And I was never big where I'd get, cases and cases. It was just onesies and twosies. But everyone was like, dude, check it out.
How do you get that Alpine beer?
Alpine just dropped this.
Yeah.
Can you get it? I'm like, and I'm sure I can,
Is that like the beginning of the craft beer movement? Like,
Yeah,
I mean, like
man.
the real, like the pop. Like when
yeah.
it really popped in San Diego.
Absolutely.
Like when you became head brewer, you became head brewer in 2008?
It was about 2006 or so. Well, yeah, 2008.
2008.
I'll say that. Yeah,
Okay.
2006. That was the first time I brewed a batch of beer by myself, my own recipe. Once I did that,
How was it?
No looking back. It was Bad Boy Double IPA.
Okay.
Made it for the Peatsport Strong Ale Festival, and it was the first keg to kick at the festival, so I think people liked it.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
Rad.
It usually
rad.
says it's pretty good.
Yeah. For a 9% double IPA, you can't taste any of the alcohol. You get all the hop character with little to no bitterness. It's just way too easy to drink.
When did you know the business of beer was your thing?
After brewing that first batch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before then, it was, I thought I was going to be a professional snowboarder.
Yeah.
Tried it out. I moved up to Mammoth for a winter, picked a good winter to move up there, but I made the mistake of becoming a lift operator. And I wasn't able to ride every day. Couldn't get the practice I needed. And it turns out I'm just not that good.
Right.
I like to go and have a good time, but,
Sure.
beer is where my passion is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you went from being that head brewer and making all these, and then going. I mean, you guys won, tons of awards, and then getting into it. Then you kind of get a bigger little restaurant, right?
Yep.
And talk to us about that. I mean, I know me personally, I have a hard time doing things where there's a lot of unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
So was that scary for you guys to kind of
Absolutely.
venture out into something? You're like, holy shit, man! Like,
Food was never our intention.
Right.
That wasn't our goal setting out.
But you got to soak up some of the suds, right?
We needed a way to keep people at our establishment.
Okay.
And no better way to do that than offering food.
Right.
And we didn't want to go the same route as everybody else, looking for the lowest or highest profit margin, lowest overhead. Go with the pizzas and all that. It works, and it works really well if you do it right. But we want to do barbecue food.
Yeah.
And it worked, the beers, the food just go hand in hand. And it really allowed us to keep people
What
in
year,
their seats.
what year was that?
2009.
2009. What was the first national award that you won?
That was something that my dad probably did, and I want to say it was for the Mandarin Nectar, the Orange Blossom Honey Ale at the Great American Beer Festival. From there, I think the McElhenney's Irish Red. These are all recipes that he developed over the course of his homebrewing career, and with the intent of making them staples, making them available all the time, not just having run-of-the-mill beers, but unique, flavorful, really high-quality beers that kept the consumers interested in the product.
Mm-hmm.
So Irish Red is back as early as probably 2004. Before then, he was winning awards at homebrew competitions.
Okay.
And that's where he was getting a lot of his feedback and using that just to perfect the recipes and go forward with that.
How's he enjoying his retirement?
It's... He had a little spill on his bicycle recently.
No.
So,
No.
Yeah.
He laid it down.
Oh, yeah.
Poor guy.
No fault of his own. Kind of a shitty situation, but he's recovering slowly but surely. Messed up his left hand real good. Of course, he's left-handed, so
Right.
not riding the bike as much as he'd like to. But yeah, he's easing into retirement.
Does he bug you like my dad bugs me?
No,
No.
no.
He stays away.
He's been pretty hands off
Yeah.
for a while, and I kind of think that's because I haven't fucked anything up.
Right.
Right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I'll take it as a compliment.
Right. No,
He's been kind of hands off.
My dad's actually been great as well. He I got him back on Wednesdays, and he comes in here and he just lights up when he's back with the customers and stuff. And he's just it's who he is. So I'm sure your dad will come and help you at some point to do those things, because it's cool, and I think the customers like to see it too.
Absolutely.
The old school people doing that. But so we just opened up the tight lines.
Tight lines.
And I just had this, and this is amazing. It's a 5.5. And talk to me about why you made this.
So we did it to promote our Alpine beer fishing team. A bunch of the employees that we got up in Alpine are avid fishermen, and I wanted something to offer them that isn't the run-of-the-mill Coors Light, whatever, but kind of lower ABV, high hop character with low bitterness. Something that we would love to see in a can to offer all the fishermen around San Diego.
Right.
It's a huge hobby here in San Diego. It's a lifestyle in itself.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to provide them something a little different than what they've been offered for the last couple of years.
No, it's great. It's amazing. And that's cool because you're really focusing on the community again.
Yeah.
And you're saying, okay, this is something that I feel is a need, a necessity for you guys, and I'm going to try to make you the best beer we can. It's something definitely I'll be drinking when I'm fishing.
Hey, I appreciate it.
That's great. And you talked about, fishing kind of being something that's in Southern California. It's big.
Huge.
I know Scott, Bobby, when Bobby was with you guys, those are two guys that I know fish a lot. And, I know Bobby's still out in Idaho, probably fishing right now as we speak. But
fishing or hunting.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So when is this going to be available?
Right now it's available on draft. We're looking at a mid-year can release.
Okay.
So we'll probably do a limited run of cans. It'll be 16 ounce, probably selling 4-packs. I think we're looking somewhere around June.
Oh, nice.
And this will give us an opportunity to have a packaged product to take to all the charter boats out in the marinas from here to LA. And, just kind of promote the product, see how they like it, and go from there.
What's your thought on the future for Alpine? I mean, you guys have done such amazing things. I mean, would you say Nelson's probably one of your most popular beers out there?
Yeah.
And then with the Nelson hop, all the stuff that's happened with that, I mean, it's been a kind of a nightmare for the beer industry, right?
Yeah. Just acquiring the hops themselves. It's, they're not a lot of acreage is dedicated to the Nelson hop. The hop growers in New Zealand are trying the other varieties out and seeing how they're doing. But there's just something unique about the Nelson hop. And, we just want to get as much as we can.
Right.
My dad actually discovered the hop on his 25th wedding anniversary. So my folks took off, went to New Zealand for almost a month. And while driving through the countryside, enjoying themselves, noticed on the side of the road, hey, those are fucking hops. What the
Really?
fuck? Where? What? Who? Hold on a second. All right, who's growing these things? Where do we get them? What's up? Struck up a relationship with the owner of New Zealand Hops Limited. The guy just loved my dad's enthusiasm and said, "You know what? Like your style, like your attitude, whatever you want. Sky's the limit."
Where were they going before then?
Mostly New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah. And so we were one of the first breweries in the U.S. to actually import the New Zealand hops. Not just Nelson Sauvin, but Southern Cross, Motueka, a few other varieties. And he made a fucking awesome recipe, and the rest is history.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So
maybe one of the first hazy IPAs on the market.
Right.
I really think it's from the hop aroma compounds in the hops that actually don't drop out of suspension. So it wasn't the grain, it wasn't the malt, it was actually the hops that made the beer hazy.
Were you surprised when you had it the first time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it was early on enough that hoppy beers were still kind of I was still getting into them.
Sure.
Right.
Well, it's an acquired taste. People don't understand that the reason things are bitter is to deter you from consuming them, right? It's
right.
Like it's why they made it so the animals don't eat it.
Yeah.
And here we are trying to put it into a drink. So it's definitely an acquired taste. And but Nelson, I mean, it's just been the staple of one of the best IPAs in the world.
Yep.
So you guys made it again recently?
Yes.
And what's the thought on that? How long are we going to be able to have that for?
So it's going to be seasonal. It's going to be going away here for a few months, but probably second to third quarter. So later in the year, we're probably going to be offering it in 12-ounce cans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
that's actually really cool.
It's going to be part of our new Alpine can lineup. We're doing away with the wheat beer and the pale ale. And we're going to be offering a strong pale ale in Pitcher Perfect, an IPA, HFS, name is open to interpretation. We
Holy
like to
fucking
say,
shit.
Holy fucking shit. Say it loud, say it proud, yell it from
Right.
the mountaintops.
I just had it the other day at Hooley's.
Yeah.
They had it on.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, man, they have HFS.
Yeah.
Take that. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
So pardon my ignorance, but I know there's a lot of people that might be listening in different parts of the world that might not know about the Alpine and Green Flash story. Would
Right.
you be okay kind of going into that and how that came to be and where it is now?
So we were in a position where we couldn't make enough beer, and we needed to reach a wider audience. And we tried to take on investors to build our own production facility in Alpine. We didn't reach our goal financially.
How much were you guys trying to raise?
Upwards of $1 million.
Okay.
Right, and that was for construction and equipment, which nowadays that's not that much money.
Yeah.
Right.
Back then it was kind of a wasn't just a drop in the bucket like it is now. So we actually started contract brewing with Green Flash. So from 2012 to 2014 we were contract brewing. They were brewing Nelson, Duet, and Hoppy Birthday for us because we had contracts for those hops to make in abundance. We just didn't have the equipment to produce that much. 2014, the owner of Green Flash had this brilliant idea. Why don't we purchase Alpine? Solve all your problems. We'll start making all your beers in abundance. And, rest is history. It's been a interesting ride, but here we are. And things are getting better every day. So
Yeah.
Yeah, things are growing great. We see the transformation, and you guys are making a lot of beer up in Alpine again, and that's what people want. That's what everyone like. I want to make sure that Scott and Sean are making the beer.
Yeah.
That to be honest, it's that's the beer I want. That's the stuff. That's the juice. And what keeps you going? Like what do you want to do next? Is there a style of beer? Do you want to just keep putting out what you're putting out? What are your ambitions with Alpine Beer Company?
really happy with what we're producing now, but I've always had this idea. I don't want to stop brewing beer until I've brewed every style.
Okay.
I really like what Jeff Bagby had to say in a recent publication. Innovation through tradition, right? Let's do the things we know how to do well and just execute as well as we can and provide the public with the best product we can possibly put out.
Right.
And I'm into that. We're going to see a resurgence of lagers here in the near future. They're coming back around. That's what people want, which is not a easy style to brew.
Bottom fermented beer, man. That's
and it takes a lot longer too.
oh yeah.
So you got to have the right equipment and you got to have the right water profile. You have to have excellent recipe formulation, all that taken into account. Not anybody can do it. Whereas, some of these Truby Chaser hazy IPAs, I'm sorry, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how to make these beers.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit more about the water? I mean, one of the coolest trips I ever went on was to Lynchburg, Tennessee. And, the whole tour was based on the creek, the creek where they get the distilling process for Jack Daniels. And I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about the brewing process and why water is so important.
So we have a unique water source. Won't go too far into it, but we're not pulling from the same.
You're not coming from
source as
Colorado,
everybody else. Right? Now we do have access to the Colorado River water, but we use that for cleaning, not for brewing.
It's like the shittiest water of all time.
And it fluctuates so much. It's really hard to dial in your water profile at that
Like the
point.
parts per million.
It's hard enough to clean the dishes at our restaurant.
So our water is a little bit hard. It's got a decent amount of mineral content in it, which lends itself perfectly to the hoppier styles. But it's also pretty good for darker beers, which we've seen. We've got Odin's Raven, our Imperial Stout, has won bronze medal at the World Beer Cup in the chocolate beer category. An Imperial Porter I made a while back actually took a bronze at the World Beer Cup in the Baltic Porter category. Before they actually had the Imperial Porter category.
So Baltic is just like another term for Imperial?
So colder fermented, lager, yeast, higher temperature fermentation.
Okay.
Right, for the Baltic Porter. And usually upwards of 9%. So this guy came in at 8.5%. Haven't made that beer in a while. Should probably brew that again. It's
Get
about
on it.
time, right?
Yeah.
Cold weather. But yeah, the water is unique into the building, and so we really want to stay where we're at.
Right.
Keep using that source. Keep making the beers that we're making. And
How do you personally keep up with the trends?
Or
Social
how do you
media,
personally not keep up with the trends?
Correct. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Is it something that you're just,
I've always considered our brewery in particular to be more of trend setting rather than trend following, and so we just try to keep making beers that are going to be interesting to the consumer, interesting to us. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to enjoy this product too,
right?
And we hope that if we like it, that everybody else is going to follow suit and like it as well. So
that's really, really, honestly, what I'm truly focusing on, like for 2019,
right?
Is just trusting myself.
Yeah, like
I know I'm good. I know what I do. I know how hard I work at doing certain things, and I don't need to. Now, look, I'm very self-aware to when I make something bad, I'm like, holy shit, do not eat that. That is not good. But I usually know when I'm nailing something. And like you said, kind of being a trend starter, I'm not going to follow anything. This is what I think's good, and my palate thinks it's well. And I'm fortunate that a lot of people trust my palate, and they usually like it as well.
Right. So. Yeah, we're in the same boat.
What kind of continuing education, maybe not so much on trend, or brewmasters that you respect, or industry icons, like you mentioned before?
Right.
Are there any podcasts or publications that you respect?
I mean, All About Brewing, Zymergy magazine, a lot of the beer publications. We'll see what's trending and what's happening around the rest of the U.S. and see where everybody's tastes are going, which kind of, it's like a cycle, Back in the early 80s, the fruit beers were all the rage. And then the late 80s, early 90s, nobody wanted fruit in their beer whatsoever. All they wanted was clear, light lagers. And then late 90s, early 2000s, everybody was in a race to make the most bitter, hoppy, big beer that they could produce. And we kind of took that in stride and said, yeah, hops are cool, but they're not all about the bitterness. You can have a great hoppy beer with all the hop character you want with little to no bitterness. Right. And the bitterness is what's really detracting to people, taking that second sip or getting that second pint at a bar, or, getting a growler or a bottle at your local liquor store, grocery store, whatever. You don't need to be beat over the head with hops. They can be there as an accentuator, but they don't need to be, the bitterness doesn't need to be the main focus of the beer, which is something that my dad has always instilled in us. Pure hoppiness being one of the first double IPAs on the market, right behind Pliny the Elder. A long time ago, there wasn't a lot of beers like that on the market. And so we just tried to, stick to what we know, make good beer, try to keep the consumer happy. We don't need to win all the awards in the world. Our awards are customers coming back day in, day out.
Yeah.
Supporting us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Can you tell us about the collaboration with Valley Farm and kind of how that came to be?
I think Bobby helped facilitate setting that all up.
I think, Bobby did.
Right.
Kind of put us in touch about the beer. It was just for us. God, this is 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
It was our 60th anniversary, and it was something big for us. And who else but the best to have make a beer for you. So I just said, hey, I knew them, and like, is this something that you guys would be interested in, collabing and doing a beer? And they approached it with open arms and said they'd be honored. And man,
humbled.
It was just an amazing experience. Got to go up there and with the guys and do our 60th year anniversary IPA, and we did it, and it sold out.
It was incredible. It was incredible.
In a few hours, 1,000 bottles or something, and it was amazing. It was absolutely
party
amazing.
In the parking lot.
We did.
Yeah,
had a cool party, and I think everyone was happy, and the juice inside of it was just exceptional. I just absolutely loved the profile of that beer and everything that came along with it. So it was cool to see. I think everyone really was excited about it. The consumers that loved Alpine, that love Valley Farm, and they can get, this, that's kind of a, its own little release that you couldn't get anywhere else. And I think everyone really enjoyed it, man. It was great. Great for me. I mean, shit, I was ecstatic on it.
Well, I think it was cool. I think it was cool for me as an outsider just to watch how much your customers that have been coming to Valley Farm for generations really appreciated the fact that you guys were partnering with a local business and that you could do something together to celebrate something that was a 60th anniversary. And how many businesses in San Diego or in the world stay in business for 60 years? And then, both family businesses, and you guys, I know Derek's very particular with who he works with, and it's got to feel right. And you guys knocked it out of the park. It was something that was really, really cool to see.
Yep. It was a really fun beer to brew. It was a really, really, awesome recipe. Looking forward to the opportunity to do it again.
Yeah.
If not the same thing, maybe something very similar.
Yep. Hopefully that will be something coming soon, and we'll work on that, and we will keep you guys updated if it does come to fruition.
Yeah.
But there'll be some research and development to make sure that the recipe is just right, the way we like it. But yeah, it was it's a trip, and it's cool that it's opening up people's minds to see that you can collab and you can do things, and it's not me against you. It's not like we can all work together.
Yeah.
And it's something that we focus on a lot here. And, with the community, it's, we beat this term to death, but it's a rising tide lifts all ships. So if everyone can work together and do well, it's just an amazing and like-minded people, like you said, we think very similar. Like it's, whether we're doing it here at Valley Farm for the recipes that we do for our food, or it's the same thing what you're doing with your beers. And it's just like, look, this is what I like. This is what I think is really good. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy it. So I love working with like-minded people like that. So
yeah. Well, it's also people that conventional wisdom can go away. You're going to do what you want in your heart. And if in your heart, you want to do it and you think it's great and you got a great partnership, you can make anything happen, and we've been lucky to be able to do that as a restaurant with other, with Pachanga Arena and, Levy, they sell fish bowls down there, and, branded Cali Comfort fish bowl with San Diego Gulls logo on the back. Like that's unheard of to think of, but if you want to do it and you got great people working on it, you can make really cool things happen.
Absolutely.
That you're really proud of.
Yep. Yeah.
This beer.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this one.
This
is a little bit bigger.
Yeah, 7.5%. But,
okay.
I feel like the alcohol is very well hidden in it. Started out as
which is scary.
Yeah. One of our brewers, Brandon, says it's his new favorite drug. He's not even calling it beer because, man, he's 5 gallons at his house lasted all of 6 hours or something like that. And, oh man, it's scary drinkable for the strength. Nothing too crazy with it. This was the second half of a collaboration we did with Nickel Beer. So the owner, Tom Nickel, myself, been friends for years. We're doing a beer dinner at O'Brien's in Kearney Mesa. O'Brien's is celebrating 25 years in business.
Awesome.
So they're doing 25 collaborations.
Wow.
So 2 a month, except for 1 month they're going to have 3. We're the first. So on the 13th of this month, us and former brewery council, they've done a collaboration with them before they close their doors. So we'll be having some of our beers.
Council closed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very unfortunate. There were some good people.
That's on the 13th of this month?
13th of this month at O'Brien's.
Are there tickets?
Tickets are available. I'm not sure if it's just at the pub or if you can access their website. But
cool. We'll put the information in the show notes for people because this episode will come out on the 11th. So
that'd be awesome.
Love to send people to that party. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a good deal. So we'll have this beer, 79 to Alpine.
Well, they won't be disappointed because that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. We got to use a new hop. Just released commercially late last year with Indie Hops and Oregon State University, their agricultural department hop breeding program, came up with this new hop called Strata, and it is one of the first hops that in the description of its aroma profile says something to the nature of cannabis. But what I get from it is more of a kind of fruit bowl, fruity character, like strawberry, guava, pineapple.
So is it cannabis?
No,
it's not cannabis. That's just in the description.
They're cousins.
They're marketing. They're cousins.
They're related.
First
but not
cousins.
the same thing. Don't go try to smoke hops. It's not going to work. You're just going to get a real bad headache.
Have you done that?
No, I have not. I'm speaking from somebody else's personal experience, not myself. But yeah, let's see, the Strata hop, and then we used a little bit of New Zealand Cascade. So New Zealand actually took some American hops and started growing them over in New Zealand, just for their exceptional soil, climate.
Are they doing it just because they can? I mean, it's amazing. Their climate over there. It's just
that, and they have no natural known infestations. They have no need for herbicides, pesticides, fungicides, nothing that is going to be detrimental to the crop harvest, except for weather, which they experienced last year. Hoping that doesn't happen again.
Right, that kind of messed up the supply for the hop.
It did. We were still able to get some, but with the Strata, the New Zealand Cascade came through with this huge pineapple, kind of strawberry-like fruity quality that's not overly fruit. You still get a little bitterness from it, but just nice, clear, crisp, and 7.5%. Man, it'll get after you real quick.
Can you tell us just about, kind of for people that don't understand how much we care about beer here in San Diego, kind of what has happened in your lifetime with beer and what you take pride in?
When we first opened our doors, 2002, there was probably there was under 15 breweries in San Diego alone. To date, now 1.5.
Wow.
Right. And probably on the lower end of that. So maybe just over 10 breweries in San Diego County alone. To date, we have over 150, with several more slated to open.
Wow.
In the upcoming months. It's
that's incredible growth.
Shelf space is becoming a premium. It's no longer growing up in the industry. I was always taught this is an industry where we rely on cooperative competition. We want to see everybody do well, and it's kind of a selfish approach to it, but we don't want to drink bad product. Right. And so anything we could offer to another brewery that may be struggling or just starting out to help them do better, we were able to offer that.
We love that.
And nowadays, it's a little bit more cutthroat. Nobody wants to give away their secrets. Not like anybody's doing anything different. You know? At the end of the day, we're still just making beer.
Sure.
Same equipment, same process, same ingredients.
One of the things Derek and I, we respect so much the craft beer. I mean, Derek's obviously much deeper in it, but me growing up in San Diego watching it is you guys you didn't cannibalize each other.
Right.
You made the industry better by collaborating.
Yes.
The rising tide lifts all ships. And that's something that we try to do with our amateur barbecue contests and other barbecue restaurants. It's about a movement. And you don't, there's no reason for Derek and I to compete against each other. Once we started working together, we were able to do so many cool things for the community and for, barbecue on the West Coast that we would never have been able to do had we were just going at it ourselves.
Yeah. Right. And so we tried to take that same approach, work together. Collaborations are huge.
We're seeing, when you're talking about there's so many breweries in San Diego, and shelf space is a bitch, right? Because what we're seeing is that all these breweries are coming out with 15 different SKUs. And it's like, look, I can't fit all those in my shelf. I don't have that much. So you have to kind of pick and choose the ones and the ones that are doing well. It's really what you have to do is just focus on the people and the people that that want to take care of you and you take care of them, and making sure that it's all lined up and it works out well. Yeah. I only have so many doors that I can fit alcohol into, and we want to make sure that we're putting out the best for the consumers, because unfortunately, like you said, it's pretty easy to make shitty beer too. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are really trying to get that wow factor, and they're over 100 IBUs on whatever, and just like, dude, it's not even a balanced beer. I can't even for me personally, I don't want that shit.
Sure. It becomes unenjoyable to drink, and that's not what we're looking for. But
everyone wants to make that new thing. But and the people like Alpine that really understand, you always just make sure that you're taking care of them.
Well, it's also, it's shelf space, and it's also tap handles. For us being Type 47 on premise, we have so many different beers that are coming at us since 2008 when we opened. And, I'm so grateful that Derek stepped in and helped Eric, my general manager, initially start developing our craft beer program once we went from 8 taps to 24 taps because we really cared about having great beer with barbecue.
Yeah.
And then now Corey has taken over, and he really works so hard to find out what does our guests want? What are the guests want and what are they looking for? And it goes beyond that because you have to have not just great beer, but you have to have a great company and you have to have great drivers and you have to have great people that come and take care of the tap lines and, that everything works together and then you get something that's amazing.
Yeah. They have to care about it every step of the way. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah, exactly.
So now with your bottom fermented beer that you guys are going to start doing, new equipment.
Nope.
Same equipment.
Same equipment.
And you're going to start doing that. I know you guys have done your sours and that have been amazing.
Thankfully.
Yeah. Those are messing with bacteria can be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah. Trying to prevent cross-contamination is always a struggle, but, we've managed.
I've always heard a line that said, if you want to be a brewer, you have to make sure you're a dishwasher first.
Yeah,
absolutely. Making sure all the bacteria is gone. If Brettanomyces will fucking invade everything and it'll be a nightmare for you.
Yep.
And
that's just one of the bacteria that we mess around with.
Yeah.
And there's some others that are equally or more invasive and really harder to get rid of too. We didn't want to become an all sour brewery.
Right.
Thankfully, we've stayed away from that. Minor issues throughout the years, but mainly we've kept them separate. I want to start that program again. So as soon as we get some wine barrels, we're going to get some more beer in those barrels and let them sit. And our motto has always been the beer will tell us when it's ready.
Right.
We don't force anything. We're not about this flash in the pan. Hey, we can make a sour beer in 24 hours. Is it going to taste good? Is it going to hold up? Is it going to be what the consumer wants? And it might be for that moment, but over the long run, it's going to be a dying trend.
Yeah, you'll see that every once in a while. You'll see people that are making a sour beer, and like you said, the best answer when you say, "Hey, when's it going to be ready?" When people are like, "Oh, it's going to be ready in a month," like, "Oh,
is it?
Like you said, it's going to be ready."
You can't tell the beer when it's going to be ready. The beer lets you know.
While fermentation, she's going to do what she wants to do.
Right.
So the lager, when can we expect that? Because that's pretty exciting to me because I've always been a huge fan.
So our New Zealand hop Pilsner, Emerson, should be ready in the next couple weeks, actually. It's been in the tank for going on 5 weeks now. Yeah.
Wow.
So we start this process early, knowing it's going to take a while. And with that, once we get the beer out of the fermenter, we're going to start all over again.
Right.
And probably try another style. I'm really into the Munich Helles right now. We've got a couple recipes for a Vienna lager. Some of these beers that take a little bit more finesse, take a little bit more time, we'll be producing here.
Well, it's pretty cool to watch you kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit and try something new and do that. I'm excited because if I know anything about you, it's going to be amazing. So it's cool to hear that you're doing it, and I definitely want to try it.
Excellent. Yeah.
How many employees do you guys have
in the brewery?
Yeah,
4.
4.
Right, and 2 of them are part-time.
Okay.
So myself and Scott Holst, our lead brewer, handle most of the day-to-day business. Scott's doing most of the brewing. And
what does your work week look like?
Lots of computer work.
Every day is different?
Yeah, every day is different. Yeah. Just kind of managing who needs to do what, when, and how, and if they have the right equipment or ingredients to do so.
What do you think your biggest strength is as a brewer?
Being kind of hands-off.
Oh, really?
Right. Kind of like
Delegating.
my dad. I won't get involved unless something is going wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And luckily, I don't have to get involved too often. So.
Well, Scott's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
He's pretty amazing.
Been a good friend for a really long time. And, I brought him up from being a bartender. Need more
Wasn't
help
he a plumber?
in the brewery. Yeah.
He was a plumber and then
Worked as a plumber. I think he's been a painter. He's kind of jack of all trades. The guy knows a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So really good guy to have in the brewery. Hard worker, good family man, good friend. So
that's awesome.
It works. I've had other friends come to work at the brewery that didn't work out that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough employing friends or family.
Absolutely.
It's always one of those tough things. You got to have standards, and you can't treat somebody different just because they're a friend or a family member.
Exactly.
Yeah. Otherwise, the system doesn't work.
Exactly.
The system doesn't work.
This is true.
Yeah. Well, anything you guys have coming up in 2019 that we should know about?
The new can lineup.
Okay.
So keep your eyes peeled for that. We're going to have 5 offerings. So Duet, Windows Up, HFS, Picture Perfect, and late in the year, Nelson. They're going to be fucking awesome. Get them while you can. No, we're not going to be making a shit ton of them. Just enough to keep the consumer happy.
Sure.
And, there may be times when we run out, which isn't really a bad thing. It's not that special if you have it all the time.
Right.
You
Supply and demand for sure.
We will have a batch of Exponential Hoppiness, or 11% triple IPA.
Expo. When's that coming out?
The weekend before Super Bowl. So February
Rad.
1st, I think we'll have it on sale.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
Well, we're
you
gonna-
guys just had the Great just come out?
Yes, it did.
How was that? How'd that turn out?
Fucking amazing.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's great.
So we did 12-ounce bottles again with the help of our friends over at Fall Brewing. We
Yeah.
borrowed their 12-ounce bottling line, brought it up to Alpine, and ran the beer through it. Turned out really good. And then we did a special version of the barley wine with our friends over at Mosta Coffee.
Yeah.
So we did their house roast. It's a Brazilian cold brewed coffee that we dosed into the barley wine, and did a couple... I think we did about 10 cases of 12-ounce bottles of the Mostra the Great, which turned out pretty fantastic.
Pretty cool, man.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Well, we appreciate you coming on Behind the Smoke. It means a lot to Derek and I to come share your story, and I know how incredible your beer is, how incredibly hard you guys work to make sure that quality is, utmost of importance, and really looking forward to, the stuff that you guys are doing into the future.
I
We're
really
going to
appreciate
send everybody to Alpine Beer Company. That's the social handle, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, guessing Twitter as well. We'll put that in the show notes. We do want to give a social shout out for one of our listeners. We're going to send him a Behind the Smoke mug. I could have given it to him in person. He came out. His name is Jake Schultz. He stopped by yesterday on Monday. He is a pilot that listens to the podcast. He said he's been listening for about 6 months. He wants to start his own barbecue business, but he actually flies private jets, and him and his other co-pilot, they landed in San Diego. They were here staying on Pacific Highway, but they made a point to come out to Spring Valley and asked our manager if I was around, and we took him around, showed him the shop. And, anybody that's listening to this podcast, we truly appreciate it. That social shout out's going to you. Social handle, smokin_pilot. Jake, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming out. And if you guys listen to the show, Derek and I are truly grateful. We're fired up for 2019. Hopefully, Derek, you feel a little bit better.
Gonna work on it.
Appreciate you.
Lesser men would have died already.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate you stepping up. And Sean, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Hey guys, this is Sean and Derek, and we just really want to thank you for listening to the podcast. It means the world to us. We'd like you to go check out BehindTheSmokeMedia.com. That's our website where we have barbecue resources for you to help build your barbecue business. We also have events listed, so anything that's happening in the West Coast barbecue movement, anything that's going on, we want you to go check that out so you can learn more and get involved. We also have show notes from all the episodes, so anything we talked about in the episodes, you can find detailed show notes there. Plus, you can just get in touch with us. It's important that we're here as a resource for you, so please reach out. Let us know how Derek and I can help you with your barbecue journey. Get involved, stay curious, and follow us on social at Barbecue War Stories. We'll talk to you soon.